Hello. Yeah. Hello. Yeah. I think, yeah. Good afternoon, Nandini. Voice, video, everything is fine? Huh? Okay. We are exactly on time today. Yeah. Let's just wait 1-2 minutes and then we'll start. Okay. So let's get started. Yeah. So topic for today is ranking. Okay. Now, in ranking, see, first of all, this is very different from a chapter that is called, yeah. Yeah. Hello, Anurag. Uh, da- Okay. I'm not able to read this name. Anurag, please. Okay. So we get here, that is ranking. Now, in ranking, see, there are two ways in which you can rank people, correct? This you have seen from your childhood days, that there is ranking from I came third in class, or some people would like to say I came second from the bottom, correct? So basically, you can rank people from the top and from the bottom. So if I'm counting from the bottom, the ranking will look something like this. I start here and this is the rank from the bottom. If I'm starting from the top, it will look something like this. That is from the top, this is the rank, correct? So now similarly, you can have it from left and right. This is the horizontal ranking. Okay, these are the only two directions in which we'll be dealing with questions of ranking. Now see, horizontally, the ranking will be given to you from left or right. Okay, now see, take this question. Shania is fourth from left and seventh from the right. Total number of people in the row you have to calculate. Okay, now I've already drawn this. So basically, Shania is fourth from the left. So if I start drawing, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So this must be Shania, correct? 1, 2, 3, 4. Then it says seventh from the right. So this is the right. From right, I start counting 7. So it goes like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, correct? Now ideally this should have been Shania. This Shania remains same, correct? So that means I cannot go like this. I should have went like this. Now if you count it, so it becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, correct? Now it is following. Now if you count the number of people, so it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So how many people are there? People, there are 10 people. So you understood, when we were counting 4 from here and then 7 from here, it must meet at the same point, that is Shania. So if ranking of Shania is 4th from left and 7th from right, the total number of people won't be equal to 4 plus 7. As you saw, that will be wrong. What will be the total number of people? It will be 4 plus 7 minus 1. Why? Because otherwise I will be counting Shania twice. So 4 plus 7 is 11. 11 minus 1 is 10. So there are total 10 people in the row. Now, this is the first formula that we have in this chapter. That is left plus right minus 1 is equals to total. Okay. This only exists for a single person. Okay, now for example, I took left ranking of Shania, right ranking of Shania -1, I get to the total. Similarly, I can have from top and bottom as well. This also you understand that whatever is the rank of one person from the top plus from the bottom -1 will give you the total number of people in the row. This is again for one person. Okay, of course you cannot take the top ranking of Ram and then bottom ranking of Shyam and then it will give you total. It is very simple, but anyway, I have written this. Now, so this is the basic or the first core formula. Now let's do questions based on it. Okay, let's do this. This is a PYQ. Very simple. Just read the question once. Yes, mean good afternoon. Now, if you read the question, it says in a class, 15 students failed out of 52. 15 failed. Then after removing the failed students, so that means what? That means from these 15 students, first thing that they do very dramatically is they remove the 15 students who failed. First thing. Then a merit list was prepared. Merit list is prepared only after removing the failed students. So merit list is for how many people? Merit list is for how many people? Merit list is for 52 minus 15. 52 minus 15. What this will be? This will be 47, 37. Correct? So this merit list has 37 people, not 52. First thing is this. Now, total number of people you got. Correct? This is the total number of people in the merit. Now it says Ramesh is 22nd from the top. What is his position from the bottom? You know this, correct? If you say about Ramesh, it will be top plus bottom -1 being equal to total number of people in the row. Correct? Now, total number of people in the merit list is 37. So T becomes equal to 37. Then from the top, what is his ranking? Ramesh is 22nd from the top. So this is 22. Now I don't know the ranking from the bottom, -1. Correct? Very easy to solve now. 22 minus 1 is 21. Now I send 21 there. So it becomes B is equals to 37 minus 21, which comes out to be 16. So that means from the bottom, Ramesh is 16th in rank. Understood? Very simple. Correct? So this is how you calculate it. Yes, Shweta. Yes, Anurag. Good. Then let's do one more. In a class of 45 students, a boy is ranked 20. Okay. When two boys joined, his rank dropped by 1. What is his new rank from the end? Now, first thing that you need to decipher here is in a class of 45 students, our boy is ranked 20. From which direction would it be? So usually when we say that I came third in class, what do I mean? Do I say I came third in the class from the top? No, we usually say I came third in the class. That is usually from the top only. So here he is ranked 20 in the usual sense. So that means from the top only he is ranked 20. Correct? Then it says when two boys joined, his rank dropped by 1. Now, earlier how many students were there? 45. Then two more joined. So how many students? 47 students is what you have as the eventual scenario. Isn't this equals to the total students? Yes, 45 plus 2. This is the total number of students, that is 47. Now the boy, a boy was ranked 20 initially, but after two more boys joined, his rank dropped by 1. Now somebody who was ranked third, if his rank dropped by 1, he will become fourth. You just add 1, correct? So here also in 20 you add 1. So now he becomes 21st. Now he becomes 21st rank. So you have this rank from the top. Again, you have to use the same formula for the boy, that is top plus bottom minus 1 is equals to total. What is his rank from the top? 21. Bottom I don't know, that I'm trying to find, bottom or end I don't know. And then total number of people is what? Now 47. So this becomes what? 21 minus 1 is 20. 20 if you send there, so it becomes B is equals to 47 minus 20 is equals to 27. So from the end, his rank is 27. Correct? Yes, Shweta. Yes, Meet. Yes, Nandini. Okay. Yes, Anurag. Okay. Simple. Then let's do this. Now, so this is the simple types of questions that we get. That is simply top plus bottom minus 1 is equals to total. Left plus right minus 1 is equals to total. Nothing happens there. So these are some questions that have come from this. Now we will get to the main part, that is how you draw diagrams and how you do little more complex questions. Okay, now first thing is this, we learn to draw distance diagrams. Okay, in this chapter most of the other questions that we solve will be based on drawing distance diagrams instead of just calculation here and there, because if you don't do it visually, it sometimes gets very haphazard. Okay, so we'll be learning a method that we'll be following throughout. Now the method is very simple. Rank is equals to distance. Okay, whatever rank is given, that will be the distance that I draw in the diagram, and number of persons, okay, if it is given, it will be distance minus 1. The other way of writing this is, if you keep distance here, if you send minus 1 here, it becomes distance is equals to number of people plus 1. Okay, now I'll be doing this completely. Okay, if you have already learned this chapter from somewhere, then you can keep on trying. Otherwise, just observe on the board, try to learn the process. Okay, I will give you enough questions to solve. Now the ram is fifth from the left end. Now first thing, how do I draw this? So I draw it, this is left end. Fine, ram is fifth from the left end. Now fifth is what? Fifth is what? If you look, fifth, seventh, correct? Isn't this like rank? I came seventh in class, I came fifth in class. So whenever you see fifth, seventh, second, 12th, 22nd, what are these? These are rankings. So when rank is given, rank is equals to distance. So it says Ram is fifth from the left end. So you start from here, you go here. What is this length now for the distance? 5. Now let's draw Ram also. So this is Ram. Okay, very clearly looking like Ram. Then next is J is seventh from the right end. So now if left end is this, now I draw the right end also. So this is, let's say, the right end, and from the right end he is seventh. So this is seventh and this is J. Correct? Again, this was ranking, so I have drawn it directly as a distance. Then it says, yeah, then it says that Ram and Jay has 3 people between them. Now this is different. This is not ranking. Rankings are usually written as 5th, 6th, 22nd. This is 3 people between them. That means what? It is talking about persons. Persons is always equals to, if I have to draw in distance diagram, distance is always equals to person plus 1. So how many people are there? There are 3 people between them. So distance will be what? 3 plus 1. 3 plus 1 is 4. So this distance will be 4. This you understand? Everyone? So what I have done till now, I have drawn the diagram, 5th from left end, 7th from right end. Then I took this, that Ram and J has 3 people between them. So that if they have 3 people, then distance is 3 plus 1, 4. So I draw 4 distance here. Now the next thing is, it asks me then total number of people in the row. Now total number of people, not the rank. Now for people, what is the rule that we always follow? Distance minus 1. Now that does not change even when I have to count total number of people. So what is the total distance from this end to this end? 5 plus 4 is 9. 9 plus 9 plus 7 is, so 5, so distance is 5 plus 4 plus 7, which is equals to 5 plus 4 is 9, 9 plus 7 is 16. But this won't be the answer. You're looking for number of persons. So number of persons will be minus 1. So 16 minus 1, that is 15 will be the number of people. Okay, so it was asking you total number of people in the row. Now, some students would like to immediately tick A, that is 15. This would be wrong. Why? Why? Understand that. So I'm moving this little up. Yeah, now see, because there is one more diagram possible. Look for that carefully. So now the initial part, let's draw it same. So this is left hand, this is Ram. Let's clone it. Yeah, so this is Ram. This part is exactly same. Now the other way I can draw Jay. The other way, yes, Anurag, before the end of the session. Now the other way of drawing Jay is I need not start from here, the right hand. I can also have a overlapping case like this. Observe this case now. So see now, I am drawing J. Now if this length is 7, if this length is 7 and this is the right hand, now is this also a possible diagram? Yes, yes. Only thing that I needed to ensure was Ram is 5th from the left hand. Yes. Then J is 7th from the right hand. That also is ensured. Now the other thing was that Jay and Ram has 3 people between them. So this length should have been 4. Okay, this is 4. It can be 4. Now Jay is ahead, Ram is ahead, does not matter. It only talks about they have 3 people between them. So this is also a possible diagram. This is called a overlapping diagram. Now if you try to calculate what is the total distance from left hand to right hand, you will find, for example, you go till here, this is 7. Now this length was what? This length was 5. This is 4. So what is this length? This very small length. This is length 1. Correct? This green length was 5. This is 4. So this small length becomes 1. Now if I am calculating from right hand to left hand, what is the distance? So I start from here. I go with the white line. I reach here. This is what? This is 7 till here. Then I have to go one more to reach the left end. So it becomes what? 7 plus 1. That is distance is equals to 8. But this won't be the answer. Correct? The answer would be number of people is always equals to distance minus 1. So it becomes 8 minus 1. That is 7. You understand this? Now if you read the option, it says that total number of people in the row 15 wrong, 7 wrong. Okay. Then read the third option. Both A and B are possible. Both A and B are possible. If you are counting the normal case, then you will get 15. If you are counting the overlapping case, then 7. So that is why answer becomes both A and B are possible. Now this is the normal case and this is called the overlapping case. Understood? Everyone? Okay, so there are two possibilities here. Now in the questions, they usually give the question in such a way that one of these diagrams just does not work. For example, if I add a line, that J is to the right of Ram. If this line is also written, then J is to the right of Ram. So if I am Ram, then J has to be here. He cannot be on this side. Then this diagram is invalid. Only valid diagram is this, and then the answer would be only 50. Understood how it is working? But I have taken both the case to show you that both are possible. Correct? Now, if you understand this, then we can start doing questions. This is the only typical part, left and right. So basically, if you talk about, so it is in the question itself, they will mention that Ram is fifth from the left end. So then I have to take it from the end. This is the end point, correct? From here I'll take. If it says that Ram is to the left or to the left of J, then I have to take reference of J and then see towards the left. Okay, so if the reference point is end, then you take it from the end. If the reference point is with respect to J or with respect to Ram, then those becomes the point from which you draw left or right. Understood? Then, okay, now let's start doing questions. Okay, let me do this one. Okay, it takes a bit of time. Now I'll do this one, then from the next one you can do. Okay, so now what is this? This is A is 16th from the left end of the row of boys. Now, one thing that you should keep in mind, that we first draw the normal case only. Okay, and try to find it out. In very rare cases, you will find that the normal case does not work and actually it is based on overlapping. Correct? That is a very rare scenario. So first thing, we try to draw the normal way without thinking about overlapping. If there is some discrepancy that is caused later on, then we will switch to overlapping diagram. This is the process. Otherwise, every time if you're drawing two diagrams, not very good. Okay, then A is 16th from the left hand. So this is the left hand, correct? Now A is 16th. So this is A. Fine. Then the next part says that V is 18th from the right end. So as I told you, first we draw normal diagram only. So this is V. V is 18th from the right end. Correct? Now it says, now look for G. G is 11th from A towards the right. Okay. So G is 11th from A towards the right. Now there are two possibilities. Either G is here or G is 11th from the right of A. So if this is A, if I am A, then this is my right. So G has to be somewhere here. But where? Correct? That is the question. So one possibility is G lies here. Other possibility can be that G lies here. Correct? Or more here. So there are these two possibilities. With respect to V, if you look, he can be on the left of V or on the right of V. Now, so these are the two possible cases for G. Now, let's read the statement further. So G is 11th from the A towards the right and third from V towards the right end. Correct? So third from V also towards the right end. Third from V also towards the right end. So where does G lie? G lies somewhere here. This is actually G. Correct? Correct? So this line actually clears it that G will not lie here but here. That is from V towards right end. Now let's use the distances. So G is 11th from A. So that means if I draw from here, this length is what? This length is 11. Correct? G is 11th from A. Then third from V. Third from V means what? Third from V will look something like this, and this length is 3. Correct? Because don't get confused. So this is third. Whenever you see ranking is distance. However it is written. So third from V. So from V you draw 3 distance and then you get to G. Now, how many boys are there in the row? Now it is very easy. So now tell me this. Let's pick another color. So basically, if this is 11, if this hole is 11, this is 3. What is this length? What is this length? This hole is 11. This is 3. So 3 is gone. What remains? 8. 11 minus 3 gets you 8. Now you have the whole distance. It is asking you how many people are there in the row. So what you will have to calculate from left end to right end, the total distance and then that won't be the answer. Distance minus 1 will give you the total number of persons. So persons is equals to distance minus 1. Now let's calculate the distance. What is the distance? 16, 16 plus 8. 16 plus 8 is 24. 24 plus 18. So it becomes 24 plus 18. 16 plus 8, 24. 24 plus 18. So 8 plus 4 is 12, 1 carry, and 2 plus 2 is 4. So 42 is the distance. Now some people will immediately take 42, but that would be wrong. Number of persons will be 1 less. So it will be 42 minus 1, that is 41. So B becomes the answer, that is 41. Yes, meet. Correct. Got it? Anybody? Any issue? Fine. If anybody has any issue, please tell, because now it will be your turn. Yes, Anurag, correct. Yes, Meet, correct. Okay. Then, now, this you try to do. Okay. In a row, A is 11th from the left and B is 10th from the right. If positions of A and B are interchanged, then A becomes 18th from the left. How many persons are there in the row other than A and B? Start drawing the diagram. Okay, I'm just drawing the diagram. By that time, you also draw. Okay. Try to draw it yourself. In a row, A is 11th from the left. I'll explain it. Right now, I'm just drawing. Yes, Meet. Correct the second time. Okay, so what I have drawn here? I have drawn that in a row, A is 11th from the left. So I have drawn here. Then B is 10th from the right. So from the right, B is 10th. Correct? Now it says if position of A and B are interchanged. That means what? In place of A, you will get B. In place of B, you will get A. So let's interchange them. So this becomes B and this becomes A. Now this is the new A. Now it says if the position of A and B are interchanged, then A becomes 18th from the left. So what is the new ranking? New ranking of A is 18th from the left. So I start from the left end. I go till here. I go till here. Okay. What is this length? This is given as 18. Correct? He becomes 18th from the left. Now first thing is, how many people are there in the row? How many people are there in the row? Now it is very easy. So this is, if I want to go from one end to the other, observe how I go. So basically I start from here and I start going. So I cover 18 first. This you can see. Then after that, how much I have to cover? I have to cover 10 more. Correct. So this is 18 and this is 10. 18 plus 10 becomes what? So distance came out to be 28. Then the total number of people in the row is distance minus 1, that is 27. So in total, there are 27 people in the row. Now, Some people will immediately tick 27, but this would be wrong. Okay, so UPSC just played a little trick here. So what they said that how many persons are there in the row other than A and B? Other than A and B. So 27 is the total number of people, but what you'll have to do? You'll have to subtract 2 from it. Why? Because A and B you don't have to count. Other than A and B. So this becomes 27 minus 2. 25 is the answer. So answer is actually C. Okay. They usually give this if they want to give such silly mistake kind of questions. So they give it as option A. So just wait a little. Okay. So now you had to calculate other than A and B. So you subtract 2. 25 becomes the answer. No, Anurag. Okay, so you had to remove this as well. Then let's do this. In a queue, Mr. X is 14th from the front and Mr. Y is 17th from the end. Front and end you can take it like horizontally only. Front and end. Okay. Draw it. X is 14th from the front. Okay, so I've drawn the first line, that is X is 14th from the front and Y is 17th from the end. X is 14th from the front and Y is 17th from the end. Now, first we always draw the normal diagram. If there is need, then we'll see for the overlapping diagram as well. Now, the next thing is Mr. Z. So there is another person. Mr. Z is exactly between Mr. X and Mr. Y. Okay, somewhere here. Then it says exactly in the middle. So I think exactly middle is this. Correct. So whatever is the length here, half will be here, half will be here. Then only he is in the middle. Then it says Mr. X is ahead of Mr. Y. Mr. X, if this is the front, this is the end. So this is like a hall. This is the people sitting in the front, okay, in a movie hall. Then this is the people sitting in the end. Now it says X is ahead of Y. Ahead of Y. So this diagram is satisfying. If it was an overlapping diagram, then it would have been Y is ahead of X. Correct? Because then X would have been here. But that is not the case. So our diagram is very nice. We like it and we can solve it using this only. So it says Mr. X is ahead of Mr. Y. Then next time, there are 48 people in the queue. Now, if total number of people in the queue is 48, what will be the length of the entire row? What will be the length? Yes, Smith. Yes, Shweta. Yes, Anurag. Okay. So now, what is the total length that I will get? If there are 48 persons, then total length is what? Distance is equals to people plus. So 48 plus 1, distance comes out to be 49. Correct? So in total, the total length should be 49. Now, I have to subtract whatever length is already counted. So 17 and 14 is already counted. So I have to subtract these two. So 49 minus 17 plus minus 17 minus 14. That means what? That means 49 minus 17 minus 14 is equals to minus 31. Answer becomes 18. 18 is what? 18 is whatever is the remaining distance, which is this. Now if this is 18, if this is 18, what is this length? What is this length? This has to be half. So it will be 9 here and it will be 9 here. Correct? Now the diagram is complete. What the question asks you, how many persons are there between x and z? Between x and z, how many people are there? So if the distance between x and z is 9, then how many people are there? People is always equals to distance minus 1. So that means 9 minus 1 is equals to 8. So that means there are 8 people between x and z. Understood? Simple? Yes. Good, all of you. Then, so this is how you solve it using a simple diagram. You just have to draw it. It does not take much time. Try to practice this and it will become much faster. Okay, then next is this very simple logical question. Okay, if you can do it orally. This does not require much concepts. It's very simple, just basic logic. Yes, Anurag. Thanks, Shweta. Now, according to the question, it says a person is standing on the first step from the bottom of the ladder. So let's say this is the bottom on the ground. He is standing on the first step. Now it says if he has to climb 4 more steps to reach exactly the middle step. So let's make him go 4 more steps. So now I go 1. This is 1. This is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. So I want him here. Correct? I want him here. So now this person reaches here. Fine. Now it says that when he climbs 4 more steps, he reaches the exactly middle step. So this is actually the middle step. Now it is very easy. If this is the middle step, how many steps does the ladder have? So if this is middle, 1, 2, 3, 4 are below it. Then if this is the middle, then 4 should be above it as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Correct? So how many steps are in the ladder? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are total 9 steps in the ladder. As you can also see that if you write numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, then the middle number is 5 because you have 4 numbers here and 4 numbers here. Understood? So total number of steps in the ladder is 9. Yes, Meet. Okay, now this is just basic logic. Now there's something else. So there are some questions that are based on ordering, not on arrangement. Okay, sitting arrangement and all that is very typical to do in exam conditions. I'm not saying that, but because of fear of sitting arrangement, people tend to leave ordering questions also. That you should not do. Now, in ordering, what they will ask you, they will ask you highest or lowest. Okay, and the other thing is they will ask you some very basic conclusion, logical conclusions that you can draw. For this, you have to just use greater than, less than, equal to kind of symbols. So these two are also asked. Now I'm covering this in ranking only. This is ordering. Don't, please just read the question and don't confuse it with sitting arrangement. I have seen many times that students just leave this. Correct? Thinking that it is some very difficult problem. But please observe, just read the last part of the question. If it is highest or lowest or just some very basic logical conclusion, then it is ordering. And we learn how you do it. Okay. Now, first thing, this. Who is the slowest runner? So it says what? Usha runs faster than Kamla. Preeti runs slower than Swati. Swati runs slower than Kamla. Who is the slowest runner? Now, one way of doing this is writing this in this form. So Usha is faster than Kamla and all of these. Or what I like to do is you just focus on the question. Question is slowest runner. Now, if anybody in all of them is running faster than, let's say, one single person, for sure he is not the slowest. Slowest person will be coming last. If this person is faster than anyone, then he's gone. He cannot be the slowest one. Correct? So I just keep finding out all those people who are faster than at least one person, and I'll just cancel them out. So now I start with, so it says Usha runs faster than Kamla. So she's faster than Kamla, gone. Then Preeti runs slower than Swati. So Swati is faster than Preeti. Swati is one. Correct? Preeti runs slower than Swati. So Swati is faster than Preeti. Swati is gone. Then Swati runs slower than Kamla. Correct? So that means Kamla is faster. Kamla is also gone. Now what remains? So Usha is gone. Swati is gone. Kamla is gone. Answer is Preeti. Correct? So this is how you do. You first mark slowest and then you just cancel out. Whichever is just faster than any other person, that you have to cancel. Yes, Shweta. Yes, Dheeraj. Then let's do another this. Again, the question is who scored the highest? Try to do it. Highest it is asking. So now if highest is being asked, then if you're trying to find out if anybody has scored more than them, then you have to cancel it out, because you're looking for that highest one who is undefeated, who won't lose from anybody else. Okay, Anurag. Okay, Dheeraj. Okay, now, so again the same process, we are finding out the highest. Now, Rama scored more than Rani. So Rani is gone, Rani har gayi. If you lose from anybody, you cannot be the highest or undefeated one. So Rani is gone. Then Rani scored less than Ratna. Rani scored less than Ratna. So now again Rani only is gone. But Rani was anyway gone. Then Ratna scored more than Rama. Correct? So Rama is gone. Why? Because Ratna scored more than him. Then Padma scored more than Rama. More than Rama. Okay. So now Rama is gone, but less than Ratna. But less than Ratna. So Padma is also scoring less than somebody, that is Ratna. Who is gone? Rani, Ram, Padma are gone. Rama, Rani, Padma are gone. Answer becomes D, Ratna. Understood? So answer is D. Okay, Anurag. Yes, Chandan. Then, who among A, B, C, and D is the youngest? Now, this is from 2020. Okay, so this is logical conclusion, but the process will be very similar. Try to do it. Who among these are, this is the youngest? Now, what you can do, you can simply start writing it. So, C is young. You are trying to find out the youngest, correct? So now let's say I use that greater than less than sign. So C is younger than D. So C is younger than D, correct? Then but older than A and B. But older than but older than A and B. I don't know the relation between A and B for now. This less than greater than equal to, you know na. So wherever the face is opening, this is the greater one. This face always open towards the greater one. So this is why this is greater than sign, this is less than sign, and this is equal to. Okay. Anyway, now, so C is younger than D but older than A and B. This is the first statement. It is asking you the youngest person. Can you find the youngest person? Huh? You don't know. Why you don't know? Because you don't know the relation between A and B. Correct? Now, let's read the second statement. D is the oldest. D is the oldest. Yeah, that I already knew. Okay. But I am looking for the youngest one. So actually this statement is not of much use to me. Then A is older than B. This is a very useful statement. Why? Because from this I can say that A is older than B. Then this arrangement I already knew. This gives me the entire chain, and I'm very sure that B is the youngest. So that means 1 and 3, if I take together, I'm able to answer. Why 3 will not be enough? Of course, because you don't know anything about C or D. So 1 and 3 are needed. Statement 1 and 3 together are sufficient. Okay, I have reduced the size of the options. Option means the same, but they usually write it that S1 and S2 when put together are sufficient to answer this question, but either taken alone won't be enough to. So all that is fine. S1 and S2 together are sufficient. Okay. Yes, Neelam. Yes, Shweta. Yes, Meet. We'll talk about this after this class. We'll have like 2-3 minute discussion. Okay. Then next thing is this. Two statements S1 and S2 are given. First is R is greater than P as well as Q. Greater than P as well as Q. Then S is not the largest one. So first thing is R is greater than P as well as Q. Correct? But I don't know the relation between P and Q. Now it is asking you which one is the largest. Which one is the largest? So R is greater than P and Q. Now actually the relation between P and Q is not very important to me. Why? Because very different from the last question. It is asking you which one is the largest. So for largest, P and Q does not matter because they are less than R. So they are anyway gone. Then but this is not enough right now. Why this is not enough? Because I don't know where is S. I don't know where is S. Now S can be in many different places. S can be placed here. Okay, greater than R also can be placed here. That is between P and Q, or even lesser than P and Q both. So I don't know. Then the second statement says S is not the largest one. So if S is not the largest one, then S must lie somewhere here. I don't know the relation between PQ and S. That is fine. But for sure, it is not greater than R. Otherwise, it will become the largest. So who is the largest now? Very clearly, all three are lesser than R. So answer becomes if you take both of them together, then you can answer the question. Correct? So what is both together are sufficient, neither alone will be sufficient. Understood? Yes, Shweta. Then it is saying PQRS appeared in a test, has P scored more marks than Q. Okay, so now has P scored more marks than Q. This is the question. Correct? P scored more marks than Q or not. Now, if I can get to a correct A, yes, that P is greater than Q, then I am also fine. If I get to a perfect no, then also I am fine. That is P scored less than Q. Correct? Ultimate question is what? The ultimate question is P scored more than Q or not. You should give me one perfect answer. Yes, he did. No, he didn't. That is the only point. Now, let's read the statements. So, first is the sum of marks scored by P and Q is equal to the sum of marks scored by R and S. Okay. So, P plus Q is equals to R plus S. Does not give me much, correct? Because I can have very vastly different numbers. Then the sum of marks scored by P and S is more than the marks scored by Q plus R. Correct? Marks scored by Q plus R. Now what do you think? Can you tell the relation between P and R? Huh? Actually, even if you take both of them, you cannot really tell the relation. Why you cannot tell? Because ultimately there are four variables like this. Now, if you were to take an example, let's take example. Okay. So now I take P very small. Okay. So let's say P is 1. So P is 1. Then I am taking Q as 100. I am taking R as, let's say, this as 100 as well, and I take S as 1. Fine, this is possible. Then P plus S has to be greater than Q plus R. So let's take this smaller. So let's say this is 0.5 and this is 100.5. Correct? This also holds. Same thing, 101, 101. Now, very clearly P plus S becomes greater than Q plus R. But from here, you can very clearly see that P is greater than Q. But similarly, I can make an opposite case also. Correct? Where P is 0.5 and that is 100. And this one is 2, let's say, and that one is 99. So that also holds. So ultimately, because there are four variables and different combinations are possible, you cannot really make an exact claim that P is greater than Q or Q is greater than P. So answer becomes even both together are not sufficient. Understood? Okay, Anurag. Then let's do one more. Yeah, try this. Who obtained the highest marks? Okay, so I need to find which of them obtained the highest marks. Now, I again start cancelling out anybody who got lower marks than anybody else. So, Randhir obtained more marks than total marks obtained by Kunal plus Deepu. So, Randhir obtained more marks than Kunal and Debu combined. So, from this, I can say that Ranveer obtained more marks than Kunal also. Ranveer obtained more marks than Debu also. Correct? Because he got more marks even with their sum. Then the total marks obtained by Kunal and Shankar, okay, Kunal and Shankar are more than those of Randhir. Okay, so this is greater than Randhir. Correct? Kunal plus Shankar is greater than Randhir. Now, next is Sonal obtained more marks than Shankar. So now you have Sonal, which is greater than Shankar. Then last is Neha obtained more marks than Randhir. So Neha, or directly N, is greater than Randhir. Now, which of them got the highest marks? Now, understand this. Understand this. From here, I can start cancelling them out. So I first cancel out K and D. That is Kunal and Devu is gone because they got less than Randhir. Then the next is total marks obtained by Kunal and Shankar are more than Randhir. From this I cannot cancel any of them. Then next, Sonal obtained more marks than Shankar. So now Shankar is also gone. Then the last thing is Neha obtained more marks than Randhir. So Neha obtained more marks than Randhir. So Randhir is also gone. But what is the relation between Neha and Sonal? Is there any relation between Neha and Sonal? Yes. So is there any relation between Neha and Sonal? Do you see any relation? Anywhere that they are related? No. This is Shankar. So this is Sonal. This is Neha. They are no way related. So I don't have any way to know that the relation between Sonal and Neha, and they have not lost from anybody. Okay, Sonal has not lost from anybody. Neha has also not lost from anybody. So final abhi baki hai. Then when they go towards the final, which is not given in the question, then only you can tell which one got the highest marks. But final abhi hua nahi hai. So right now the data is inadequate. Understood? Simple. Yes, yes, Anurag. Okay, yeah. Smith was asking that, sir, will these classes will be enough? So my suggestion will be that you do these classes. Okay, in this I do all the most of the important PYQs, and that is also given as a handout to you. Now this handout you can revise like your own notes. Okay, apart from this, instead of following any kind of sheet, this, that practice question, what I would suggest is this is good enough base. Then after this, you start attempting mocks. Once the course is done, then you start attempting mocks. Most of the institutes gives their best question in the mocks. So you start attempting mocks. It will take care of how you manage your time as well, which is a very, very, very important factor in CSAT. Otherwise, solving questions, lying down on bed, solving many practice questions of this type, that type, all is fine. But you should be scoring well in mocks. So after this, instead of doing any more lectures or notes or this or that, don't get confused. Straight away get to mocks. You have the base. Now, of course, some new things you will get from the mocks that you can directly learn by something called as reverse engineering. So this should be your approach. Okay. Now, Anurag was giving one question. Aman is 5 ranks ahead of Isha in a class of 30 students. So this is Aman. This is Isha. Now it says Aman is 5 ranks. If you can read the question, that is what he has written in the comments. Aman is 5 ranks ahead of Isha in a class of 30 students. If there are 30 students, what will be the length? What will be the length of the diagram? It will be 31, correct? So this total length of this diagram, not from Isha, this total length is actually 31 because there are 30 students. Now, it says if Isha's rank is 14th from the last. So from the last. So this is the last point. From here, Isha is ranked 14. Correct? This is Isha. This is A. Now, Isha is ranked 14th from the last. Then, what is Aman's rank from the starting position? Very easy. From the bottom, what is Aman's rank? From the bottom, what is Aman's rank? 14 plus 5. So, Aman's rank from the bottom. So top plus bottom minus 1 is equals to total, correct? So from the bottom, what is the rank? From the bottom, this is 14 plus 5. Okay, 14 plus 5 is 19. Sorry. This is 19 minus 1. Now, total number of students, either you can do this via this diagram, that is 14 plus 5, 31 minus this, or if you just want to do it from those basic formula. So total number of students was what? Total number of students was 30. correct? From the bottom you got the rank 19, so this becomes what? T is equals to, this is 19 minus 1, 18. 18 if I send there, 30 minus 18 will give me what? 30 minus 18 will give me 12. So from the top he is ranked 12. Now let's do it using this diagram also. Okay, this is the old method that we did using formula. Now if I were to use the diagram, just see this. So this is Aman. Okay, now see, what is this length? If this whole is 31, this is 14, this is 5, so that means this is 19, correct? This is 19. Now what this becomes? This becomes 12, correct? Now one thing you know, rank is equals to distance, correct? So it is asking what is the rank of Aman from the start. What is the rank? Rank is again. So using both methods you get to the same answer, that Aman is 12th rank from the top. Okay. Okay, that's it for this one. We'll end it here. Thank you. If you have any other doubts, you can ask on the Telegram channel. Okay, I'll be available there.